Hi, and welcome to another edition of Cape Conversations. I'm so excited today because when I drive down Main Street, or I drive down Jarvis Street, or I drive down any street in downtown Sandwich, or the village of Sandwich as we like to call it, I'm always wondering, who lives in that house? Who lives in that house? Well, I've made some great friends, and I know who lives in some of those houses. So we're going to take a little visit to two of those houses today. So come along and let's have a Cape conversation. Hi, I'm Melinda Gallant, and here we are with another edition of Cape Conversations. And today I'm with my newfound friend and great guy, man about town is how I like to think of him, Jonathan Shaw. Jonathan, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good. And we're sitting on your beautiful front porch.
Good, it's good to have you here.
Well, and you know why we're here, right? We're here because I was curious about who lives in downtown Sandwich. You know, we all drive by on Jarvis Street, we all drive by on Main Street, and we go, who in the heck live in these great big huge houses? Well, you're one of them.
Well, it's a pleasure because partly my family has been in this right since 1857.
Neat.
And then after that I went down to Florida and ran a garden down there, Bach Tower Garden.
And where is it located? Because I know we're Ding Darling. We've had that
Yeah,
conversation about
that's,
Ding Darling.
Bach Tower Gardens is between Orlando and Tampa.
Oh, okay.
I mean, to sort of fit it into the middle of the state,
Right, okay.
at the highest point in the state, which of course you know this is
Isn't very high.
It's a very low state.
It's a very flat, low
So
state.
very flat. So it's about 300 feet high there.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's an enormous height in Florida.
Well, that is above sea level, I think, for Sandwich, too, I believe, but I'm not
Yes,
sure.
yes.
So, Jonathan, tell me about the tree that's behind this house that's so beautiful.
Well, it's a ginkgo tree, and it's probably one of the largest ones in Massachusetts. It's a female ginkgo tree, and they are not planted anymore for good reason, because they have fruit that causes difficulty as people walk down a street.
Smelling.
On the other hand, it's fine next to a house here, and I've seen to it that very few people have planted males around here, and so hopefully it's not going to be too difficult.
Right. And it was planted at the same time of the house?
It was planted at the same time of the house.
Wonderful.
And Mary Waterman, who was my great-grandmother, her uncle owned the largest nursery in Massachusetts at the time. So I'm sure it came from him.
Sure, a gift as a gift for
gift,
the new
yeah,
house. How
yeah.
wonderful. Right. Well, it is certainly been done beautifully. And as we sit here on your porch and you were talking about, defining, the architecture being defined, what is the period of this house was, as you said, 1857. So the town hall was built. The road was dirt, probably, hard packed dirt, I'm sure.
Yes, of
No
course.
sidewalks.
Well, I think next year they may have built a sidewalk.
Is that right?
I understand the
Right.
sidewalk came in pretty quick.
Wow. So what style is this house? I mean, I'm sometimes I say, oh, it's a Federal, it's a Cape. What would this be?
This is supposed to be an Italianate villa.
Really?
Isn't that a wonderful
Well,
phrase?
see, I love it. I love it. Well, we're back again talking about who lives in downtown Sandwich. And I'm so excited because we're in a beautiful, historic, little cottagey home. I'm not sure if that's the exact what we'll call it, but we'll find out. We're with Bob King and Tobin Worth.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank
Welcome
you.
to our
And
cottage.
guess what? Not very often do I get this. They gave me these gloves that your neighbor
Gardening,
gave,
yeah.
gardening gloves. They're, I don't know what kind of gloves, but they are so wonderful. So I had to wear them to show them that I got a gift. Would this be considered graft?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
I don't know. Are
know.
you running for office?
No, I'm not. I'm not running for anything. So anyway,
Except out of here.
that's right. First of all, we're here, and your place is so charming. And if I were going down, well, first of all, your house is hard to find to begin with because it's kind of on a little side
Yep.
street.
Well, that's the wonderful thing about this street is it hits her one way at Pleasant, and you end up at Liberty anyway. So there's no reason to drive on it if you don't
Right,
live here.
Right. So your
it's
house
great.
very quiet.
We really
It's very
do.
quiet.
Except for Halloween, when we get
Right.
over 500 trick-or-treaters.
Really?
Yeah, that's been happening the last few years.
Is
so.
that right? Well, in Town Neck, we don't get any. So you can send a few over.
Yeah, no,
You
Although-
can't get a parking space in the village that night. At
That's
about
right.
8 o'clock. So.
That's hysterical. Well, anyway, so tell me a little bit about the house. And
Okay. Well, this whole neighborhood is now actually the newest historic district in Sandwich. It's going to be called Jarvisville. It's a part of what is going to be considered Jarvisville Historic District, which runs from Jarvis Street to Liberty Street. We're right in the middle there,
And
then over across the 6A to what was formerly always called Jarvisville, which was
Right.
built for the glass factory workers.
Right.
So
right.
this neighborhood was built for actually executives, and people who sort of made a little bit more money than the average worker.
So this is middle management
Right.
area.
That
Okay.
or skilled labor. In our case, this was built by a blower, a glass blower, gaffer they were called.
Right.
And they were the people that were skilled. And the
Right.
skilled workers were, of course, the ones that got paid the most money. And in my reading about the glass factory, one of the things I've discovered is you never taught anybody else but your son that skill.
Sure.
So that
Passed
it
down through
retained its
generations.
value. So it was built by Thomas Dean. And somewhere,
D-E-A-N?
D-E-A-N,
Yeah.
and somewhere along the line, I read that he was employed by the Sandwich Glass Factory longer than anybody. He was the
He was like
longest running employee.
Wow.
I was at Titcomb's bookshop one day and saw that big, thick book about.
Oh, yeah.
Shortly after, I recognized his name on a map from the 1850s and turned to Thomas Dean, and there he was. So.
That's great.
And we've done the plaque. You know, if you live in this neighborhood, you can ask the historic society who owned your house and when they built it, and you can
Yeah.
buy a plaque for it, which we've done.
Well, yeah, I'm having a cup of coffee. Thank you so much. Not only did I get gloves, I got coffee as well. I noticed all the silver. Now, there are a lot of us out there that have got silver. I mean, I've had my silver since I, was married.
Yep.
And then my mother passed away, and I only got the pewter from her because she knew I wouldn't polish it. So the silver that I have from when I was first married is sitting in bags, and it's pretty black, I would
Yeah.
imagine by now. So how do you clean all this silver?
Well, it's interesting. I was watching one
This
of
is like
those.
household
Yeah,
tips.
I know. Yeah,
you
household
know.
tips. Have you
Cape
ever
Conversations and household tips.
Have you ever seen that program on GBH where the guy comes up with sort of home remedies for
Yeah, I think I
insects on plants and
Yeah.
well, one of them one day was how to polish silver, and basically.
So you were walking by the
Right,
television,
I
you went,
And it's what you do is you take an aluminum foil roasting pan.
like a throwaway one?
They throw away aluminum.
Yeah.
I get the big one.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you
I would imagine. There's
and
a
you
lot of-
and you take fabric softener. Like you get a jug
And
of
does it
Downy. I always only use Downy.
Okay.
It can be.
It can't be
right.
generic, like
God, no.
fabric softener. No, it's got to
Not
be
if you're going to use it
Downy.
on silver.
Okay.
No,
Maybe
it
we
can
can
be
get money from
anything.
Downy for this.
So I put in about half a jug of that.
Yeah.
And then fill it with warm water.
Yeah.
And you basically just soak the stuff, and it's amazing how.
And do you have to do any polish it at all?
You have to sort of. What I do is I soak it in that. I take it out, wash it, and then buff it, and
Wow.
it doesn't look almost like it's weird when you take it out. It almost looks like nothing's really happened, but when it dries,
It's gone.
it's just gone.
Anyway, I want to thank you. It has been
Oh.
fun. I want to thank you for my gloves because
Right.
now I have no excuse not to go out and pull weeds and rake
Yeah.
this fall. No excuse at all. I have my new gloves.
Mhm.
I want to thank you. Success with Cafe
Well,
Chew.
thank
Thank you very
Ooh,
much, and I
Yeah.
think your timing is perfect because Oprah is retiring, and you
Well-
could send an audition tape. We'd be happy to
Yeah.
help you with that.
Well, thank you. I think sandwich is just right for me.
Yeah.
There's
is.
something about my father used to say it's okay to be a big mutt in a little puddle. Because sometimes when you're a little mutt in a big puddle, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So I'll just be my mutt, which sometimes I'm called anyway. But that's another issue. So anyway, thanks so much, guys.
Well, thank
It
you.
was great
Thank
fun.
you.
It's great.
And
It
you
was
know
wonderful.
what? I want to, I hope at some point, maybe we'll have a couple of pictures of the outside, your beautiful gardens. I know you don't think they're beautiful
Well,
right
right
now.
now
'cause
they're,
of
yeah.
but
Okay.
the house.
Come back
looks
in the
super
spring
pretty.
if you
All right.
want, and we'll
Okay.
do a little garden tour.
Oh,
next
that'd be
summer.
great.
Yeah.
Maybe you can give us gardening tips. Now we've
Yeah.
had silver tips. We've had auction tips. Next is
Right.
gardening tips.
Okay, yeah.
All
That's a
right.
deal.
Next spring. That's
All right.
great.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Good
Good to
you.
see ya.